Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about 5 of my favorite smartphones in 2020 that are under $300. But first, let me start off with a few of my favorite ones. The first one we're going to talk about is the Samsung Galaxy A30. Now, this one was released in 2019 in April. I actually grabbed mine in April 25th, and it's actually a really nice device. It has a 6.4-inch display, a 16 megapixel camera with 4 gigabytes of internal memory and 4 gigabytes of 64 gigabytes of internal storage. It also does have the Exynos 7904, a 4000 milliamp hour battery as well. I do like the Super AMOLED 16 uh, M colors, which it does offer on the Super AMOLED touchscreen. It does have 403 ppi as well with Gorilla Glass 3. It was upgradable from Android 9.0 Pie to Android 10, and it's running on the One UI 2.0. The Exynos 7904 is a 14 nanometer processor, so it's not the most powerful one in the world, but it can definitely get the job done when it comes to gaming and like Fortnite and watching movies. Everything looks really crisp on that display. Now, the second phone we're going to talk about is the Redmi Note 8 Pro. It was released around the same time in August of 2019. Now, this device is a 6.53-inch, which with a full HD as well, and it does offer the 1080 by 2340, a 64 megapixel with actually 6 gigabytes on this variant, a Helio G90T 4500 milliamp hour battery as well. You also getting are you're getting all the global bands on both of the phones I was just showing you, so you can use this on Cricket and Metro as well as the A30 as well. This phone also does offer a Gorilla Glass 5 back and front, but it has a plastic frame, but the IPS LCD capacitive touchscreen is really good. So it's also going to be upgradable to Android 10 shortly, but it hasn't gotten that yet, and it's going to get the MIUI as well. It also does have a MediaTek Helio G90T, which is a 12 nanometer processing chip, which is actually pretty decent and overall performs really well, just to say the least. But also, you are getting 4 cameras on this phone, and it's really cool. It records in 4K as well as this one, which is the Moto G stylus. Now, I really like that both phones record in 4K. Now, this one has the 665 processing chip, which is going to be pretty decent. But one of the things about this phone is it does have a really good camera system as well as the Redmi Note 8 Pro. You're going to be able to get some really good cameras as well as good battery life also. Same thing with the Redmi Note 8 Pro with the 4000 milliamp hour battery. It does have a really nice screen as well. You're getting a beautiful screen on this phone as well as some really nice dual speakers. So I wouldn't recommend this phone if you were to like just buy it for gaming. It's a little bit glitchy, and I did notice a bit of hiccups and some belly aches when actually, like using it. But I definitely thought it was a really good phone for the multitasking and storage. It has 128 gigabytes of internal storage with 4 gigabytes of memory. So it's actually a really good performer when it just comes to productivity and doing things that you usually do, and even getting work done with the Excel spreadsheets that it does have to offer. And you can also use the other apps that are installed along with it, like Microsoft Word, and you can do all your work and everything if you wanted to use like the pen to actually navigate with it. But also, this thing does surprise me because it has the HDR compatibility when you're actually watching movies, so it's going to be a really good experience with that punch hole cutout on the front. Now, it's not AMOLED, but it is LCD IPS display, which is pretty decent, and you're getting a really nice display at 6.4 inches. Now, this one right here is the Bold N1. Now, the Bold N1 is actually 6.4 inches as well. It has an in-display fingerprint sensor. It does have the P70 processing chip. It does have a nice camera, as you can see right here. The front-facing selfie camera is a 13 megapixel. It does have a 16 megapixel on the rear. You are getting the option to zoom in really close on the 96 megapixel camera that it does have to offer, which offers super zoom. Um, It has a really nice glass back with wireless charging. It also does retain the headphone jack, just like all the phones in this video. It has really nice build quality, and it feels really decent and also substantial in the hand when using it. I just like the design of it with the lift awake feature is really implemented well, and the in-display fingerprint sensor too. So that pop-up motorized selfie camera and that all-screen display that you're getting looks absolutely gorgeous. It is an AMOLED display, so that's actually pretty cool. This phone is actually $199 at the time of this video with Android 9. It will be getting Android 10 hopefully, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I definitely think this phone is one of my favorites of all time. Under $300 for the price, you can't really go wrong because it's giving you some flagship features with the wireless charging as well, and some really decent speakers too. When it comes to the gaming performance, it is a P70 chipset with 4 gigabytes of RAM, so honestly you can play games like NBA 2K without any hiccups, stutters, or glitches whatsoever. So honestly, I think it's a really good experience overall for the user. It is pretty much stock Android, but Blue did put their software over top of it, which is really, minimal on this phone. And they do offer a few bloat apps like Solitaire and stuff like that, but you can also delete those. Now, the last one I want to talk about is the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Now, this is an older flagship from 2018, and it has features a pen, which is one of the main things about this phone that is really nice because it's actually going to be very accurate when it comes to the tip of the pen. It offers really nice features and good productivity for getting work done, and also just people who are just really serious about, like multitasking and having the most powerful phone. Now, this phone does have IPS, IP68, so basically you're going to be able to get water, dust, and it's not drop protected, but water and dust. Hold it underwater for like 30 minutes, at least 3 feet. You get the iris sensor, which is really great. I think they should bring that back because it's really secure. It's really good for this time, especially I don't have to take a mask off. I could keep it on and use the iris sensor because it's only looking at my eyes to detect the unlocking, and then you get the NFC and a bunch of whole wide range of features to choose from on this phone. So it's really pretty much going to be top of the line when it comes to the user friendliness of it and overall feature set that it's going to offer. You're also going to be able to play some high-end games as well without any bit of suffering when it comes to the impact of lack of graphic quality or anything like that. This phone has held up really well throughout the years, and I definitely think it's been probably one of the best phones I've ever used in all time. But if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button, show your support and appreciation. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great morning, good afternoon, and have a great night. Later, crew. Peace. But in the meantime, if you found this helpful, make sure you click the bell icon to show your support and appreciation. And I would appreciate that as well if you check out the next video right after this one. But I'll check you guys later. But in the meantime, later, crew. Peace.